Welcome, PI Nation. You're listening to the Politically Incorrect Podcast. Here are your hosts, Matt, Evaldo, and Deshawn.
And hello, everybody. We are back with another episode of the Politically Incorrect Podcast. And I am here with my co-host, Evaldo Barrow. Say what's up, Evaldo.
Hi.
And we are back with another show. Unfortunately, Matt couldn't make it here today. He had to work. And we salute you, Matt. And hopefully he can be here for the next show. But just to give you guys a little take, we've taken a few breaks over the past couple of weeks just due to, life. And Evaldo's got a family, and so does Matt does. I'm the only single one here who's not married. So if you're an apostolic lady out there, I pray that God would lay me on your heart.
Come on, man. Don't use a show to try to get a wife and promote yourself, man. What's wrong with you?
I gotta use every chance I can get here. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing around. But I pray that God would continue to bless this show and help us to inform the public in any way possible.
I pray the same thing, brother. That's good.
So, Evo, what's going on with you, man? How you been?
I'm feeling all right. I got my iced coffee homemade here, so I don't have to go spend money at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, which is really expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel all right. My wife's birthday is this weekend.
Yes.
We went to a Chinese buffet. She's 33 years young, and she's still here, blessing me with her presence. I'm grateful for her. And I got her an Apple Watch. Her sister and I won on half with an Apple Watch. She's always wanted that. So we got her that for her birthday. So she's pretty excited. You know what I'm saying?
That's exciting, man.
You got to keep her happy.
Yes.
You got to keep the lady happy.
He that findeth a wife findeth a
good thing.
And you found a good thing. Now, let's maintain that blessing God's given you.
So how you doing? Anything new with you?
Yes, sir. There's a lot new with me right now. So I'm getting ready for my first car payment that's going to be due in October.
Oh, man. The banks love you.
So, I think I'm going to play it smart this time. It's going to be a massive first-time payment.
Oh, yeah?
So that I don't really have to worry about the interest accruing too much.
That's true. Make a little extra every week or every month or so.
I don't plan on making too many payments on it. I think I want to get it done over with as soon as possible. But next time I ever buy a car, if you ever buy a vehicle, make sure you go and you have cash with you. And just so you don't have to go through financing, okay?
I recommend that too.
That's the worst thing you could do. Don't go through finance. If they don't want to take your cash, then don't buy the vehicle. So
cash is king.
Next time I'll make sure I have cash with me when I'm on a dealership. But other than that, school has started up, so I am a nursing student. I won't particularly say what university I go to just because.
People coming down trying to find you, and especially with that Trump hat on.
No. I don't want anybody trying to find me. So I'll just say that I am a nursing student and that I am absolutely excited to be starting up this semester again.
You got a new haircut, too. Is that a new haircut?
Yeah, I did, man. I did. I got to shave this beard, though. I know Pastor Stern
You look good,
was looking
man.
at me.
You look very Mr. Roger-like with that coat and that shirt underneath. Black Mr. Rogers.
Well, I don't even know who that is, but
you don't know who Mr. Rogers is?
I don't know who that is.
You got to look that up.
Let me look that up real quick. Mr. Rogers, bro?
How do you not know who Mr. Rogers is? Everybody knows who Mr. Rogers is.
Mr. Rogers.
They're doing a remake of him with Tom Hanks, man. He's an old dude. They used to have this show on Channel 2, PBS, for the kids.
Yeah.
And he had his sweater. He would come in his house, and he was very, boring and dry. Look at that.
I think I know this show.
Yeah, of course you know him. Everybody knows Mr. Rogers. They're redoing that with Tom Hanks.
Bro, wow, dude. Wow.
And they got that song, It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Won't You Be Mine?
Oh, I love this show. This show was awesome, man.
He was a good show. I liked
that
it
was
as
a good
kid.
show. That really was a good show. What's crazy was to segue off of this, I was watching H&L.
Yeah?
HLN.
I don't know what that is.
It's like Forensic Files and things like that.
All right, yeah.
And one of the biggest things that I had seen was a lot of TV personalities. They end up actually becoming what do they call huge. I don't want to get depressing here, but they end up becoming a very. They can't find work afterwards after their program goes off air. So because they're already kind of a celebrity type idea, they're not able to find.
So they can't go beyond like that one role that really stuck. Like I can think of a person, Steve Urkel. He could never go beyond that Urkel role because that just like is stuck with him.
It just sticks, yeah, and you can tell, like, even with certain characters. Even if I give you an example of Marvel, like Tony Stark,
Stuck with Iron Man.
Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr. will never be able to get away from Iron Man.
But he's made movies prior to that.
Really.
Like he made Sherlock Holmes, well, during the Iron Man franchise, but
Yeah,
even before that,
yeah.
he's been in other movies.
Yeah, because he didn't want to be seen as just Iron Man.
Yeah.
You see how he did that?
But
didn't
he
want
is
to be
stuck
seen.
with that. I know what you're saying.
He's
probably
definitely
can't.
stuck with that. Nobody will ever forget Robert Downey Jr. And anybody who ever tries to play Iron Man ever again
Yeah,
will
it
have to
just
live
won't
up. It just won't be the same.
Be the same, yeah.
It won't be the same. And that lets you know that the originality of Robert Downey Jr., when somebody plays a character for the very first time, 'cause that was the first time Iron Man had ever been played in
Yeah.
a live action movie. So, I mean, there's just no comparison anymore to who can be Iron Man. He'll always
Right.
be Iron Man.
People-
to those who've seen him
To those,
first
it's
play.
just not the same if anybody else does it. And what's going on these days? People are trying to change the originality of characters and things like that, right?
They're trying to change the
Yeah.
original. But we'll be right back.
We'll take a
and
break.
We'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Politically incorrect. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the show. Matt, Ivaldo, and Deshawn would really like to thank you guys for your support and for tuning in today. Also, in order to keep the show growing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and like and share this video as well. And hit the bell notification to receive all of our updates. Thanks guys, and remember, in PI Nation, there's no political correctness. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. You are about to re-enter the PI Nation.
What's up? Welcome back to the world of the Politically Incorrect podcast, and I am ready to take you into the Marvel universe.
Yes, we're ready. So what do we got?
Welcome back to the universe of the Politically Incorrect podcast, and I'm excited to talk a little bit about something that seems to be prevalent in our culture today, which is race. Race seems to be such a sensitive topic we talk about today, and it looks like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, I should say, catering or folding to the racial pressure here in America by
They certainly are.
changing origin characters and ethnicities of certain crucial characters in certain places. So one in particular, and let's talk about him. His name is Magneto. And one of the things that we had talked about, or my co-host Ivaldo actually sent us a link to, hopefully I can shout him out, the amazing Lucas. It is, the amazing Lucas.
He's a YouTube personality. A lot of followers.
Yep, he's got a lot of followers. And he's talking about Magneto becoming a black character.
They want to make Magneto black. And this is just not going on with race, it's going on with gender too, because they want to have a mismonopoly.
Yeah.
And he also addressed that, Amazing Lucas, that is. But go ahead, continue.
And what's fascinating about this is that we already have characters being changed, even in the new Spider-Mans. Mary Jane is no longer a redhead white girl. She's a more ethnic, rugged-looking, boyish type female.
And a while back, we addressed Mermaid. They wanted to make the Little Mermaid black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, this is becoming pathetic. This is getting pathetic, bro.
That's one of my favorite words.
This is absolutely pathetic that we are continuing to cater or to flop whole films. I think Marvel, if you continue to go this route, people are not going to watch these films anymore.
It's also pathetic for the black community too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want somebody catering to me like that, because that to me would make me feel like they think I'm weak and pathetic, so they need to do these silly stuff to appease me.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's pretty pathetic.
That's pathetic. Let's Magneto what's his origin story actually? Because I'm not even familiar with him actually. What's his origin story? They say that
That would be a good Matt Kamara question, but unfortunately he's using sick days.
I know Matt is out.
I don't know much about the X-Men franchise. We could look that up real quick.
Yeah, let's check that out.
We know that he's white.
He's a white character, right?
Yeah. Now there's Magneto, and then because remember, Magneto used to be a good guy. He's a bad guy. But then I think Professor X, which is also one of the characters they want to change. He's the head of he's the brain, the guy in the wheelchair of X-Men. And I think he mentioned that they wanted to change him too. I'm not sure. But he's also white.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Magneto is a white man. He's a white man with gray hair.
yeah,
That's what he's looked like. I don't know. Maybe I can turn my computer around. It's just anybody who might not know Magneto.
I can put it up.
But maybe you'll put the photo up there. But
Yeah.
Magneto's a white man. See, I can understand if he had, and his origin story is not that of an ethnic background or like a heritage of somebody who would be an ethnicity that's not white. The Amazing Lucas, I'm just gonna tag onto his video, is that his origin story is far from anything that has any ethnic background at all.
Right.
Not to just to be vague about it, because I don't know much about it, but that's what he says. You would have to literally change the man's entire story. That's literally like the crux of what the Amazing Lucas is talking about. Is that if you change this character into a black character, you'll have to change his origin story also, and that's really it's really hard for fans to digest, because that's what makes the character.
Yeah. If you're like a hardcore fan of a show or whatever, you're pretty much like a purist. You want to see it in its original form.
Yes.
Anything less would just be uncivilized.
Pretty much. And even if you look at some of the comic books that have been made for this character, it's all white. You know what I mean?
I wonder how the X-Men purists feel about this, because he didn't address it. How the people that are actually fans feel about it.
He didn't. But this is just another way to cater to the black community's racial prejudice or racial profile, which seems to be prevalent everywhere you go. But I just pray that we would become Americans first instead of African Americans or Asian Americans. That we would all just become American citizens and be unified in that, instead of actually being prouder in our heritage than we are being Americans.
Right, because Jesus said a kingdom divided cannot stand.
No, a house divided cannot stand.
Right.
And what's amazing about that scripture is they told Jesus prior to Jesus saying that, they told Jesus that he cast out the dumb spirit or the devil's spirit by Beelzebub.
Yeah.
And Beelzebub meaning the prince of the flies, really. That's what Beelzebub means, the prince of the flies.
Right.
Talking about Satan. And Jesus said, if Satan be against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? Meaning, how can a house divided stand? And how that is relevant to the American society is that we just need to be Americans first and worry about our heritage afterwards, because we should be unified as Americans. So I pray that through this Magneto POC, people of color now, that he's actually addressing, I think that we should just become Americans and just leave Magneto white, please, because he's been white for a long time.
And you don't want to earn the respect of society in that fashion by taking little handouts that are meaningless like this. Yeah. I would rather if you wanted to maybe diversify the X-Men characters, maybe create a leader that is black, but give it a whole new, a whole new character twist. Don't take an original character and change it just for the sake of changing it to appease a certain, group of people, and change that character from, white to black. Just make up your own character within the franchise, and see if you can compete with, Magneto or Professor X. That would be my advice, instead of taking these handouts. You don't want to earn respect in that way. That's not really respectful. Speaking
of handouts, it seems that our mayor, in many cases, has received some handouts.
Oh man!
So let's we'll take a break and we'll get right back.
We'll come back to him.
Politically incorrect.
Hey guys, hope you like the show today. The guys here just want to say what's up and keep you guys posted with all the latest. So do us a favor and like us on Politically Incorrect at Facebook. Follow us on Instagram on the Politically Incorrect Pod and on Twitter at PipNation508. And don't forget, this is the only show where the blacks don't vote blue. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts and prepare to be offended. We are re-entering the Politically Incorrect podcast.
What's up? We're back again, and we took a little break to get back into this new episode of the Politically Incorrect podcast, and we're back talking about our mayor, JZL F. Correa II. He is currently under indictment by the federal government of the United States of America. And we want to use righteous judgment, and we want to be wise when talking about some of these issues, because we don't know if all of these are true, but we are here to just present the information. So I'm not here to condemn you, Mayor Jaziel Correa. I'm not here to at all talk down or air your dirty laundry, but this is public information.
Yes.
And we have the right as citizens of Fall River and of the United States of America to display this information privily, because it is a federal sealed document by the United States of America Court or District of Massachusetts. So let's get into a few of these indictments that the federal government has charged Mr. Jaziel F. Correa with. And the first count is count 1 to 9, which is wire fraud. So, according to the federal government, Correa has taken some investments and has not claimed those investments on his taxes. Okay, we have false tax returns, which is 10 to 13, which I previously said false tax returns, meaning has not obliged or divulged that information to the federal government.
Okay.
So then we have counts 14, 16, 18, 20, and 22, which is extortion and conspiracy. So for those of you who might not know what extortion and conspiracy is, that means that Mr. Jaziel Correa, or he is alleged or he is accused of, that because he's accused of all of this stuff here, he's accused of extorting or taking money for his own gain, extorting the government or extorting wherever he's from. So really just taking money from either the Fall River taxes or whatever way he might have got those funds, just taking it from a certain individual or certain places to fund his own personal agenda, his own personal
Is that the
needs.
Snow Owl investors here in part 14 here I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're literally looking at the indictment, which is the actual document that has been drawn up by the federal government here. And then we have lastly count 24, which is the last indictment, which is bribery. So I'm not really sure what is true, what is false. If the feds are coming after you, there are some things, you just had something going on. There was something going on if the feds is knocking at your door. But I will say that Jaziel F. Correa II is our mayor of Fall River, and we stand behind him as innocent, because he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
And he is Cape Verdean.
He's Cape Verdean?
He's Cape Verdean. He's
Wow.
our people. But
that doesn't mean anything.
we're Americans first, though.
We're Americans first.
Exactly,
I'm Cape Verdean, but
So we're not
you don't
gonna-
get a pass just because you're
You
Cape
don't get
Verdean.
a pass, right?
You're an American first. But I will say, Mayor Correa, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law and here in the United States. But I pray specifically for your situation, because this is certainly have to be stressful on you and your family. But just to take a few moments, we'll look at a few of these indictments in a little bit more detail. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, indictment 1, we'll talk about the first indictment, is general allegations. So, Mr. Correa might have had a snow owl or tax fraud. So, really, he committed tax fraud with a snow owl company, which was conceived and founded by Mr. Correa in late of 2012 to develop an app designed to connect local businesses with their target consumer market. So, Snow Owl was incorporated in Delaware in December 2014. So Correa is 27. He's the mayor of Fall River.
He's young, too.
Correa was first elected in November 2015 and was reelected by a wide margin to a second 2-year term in November 2017. Just speaking of the elections here, the local elections here in Fall River. So prior to his election as mayor, Correa was a one-term Fall River city councilor between 2014 and 2016. Okay, so it's just going into a little detail of a little background of our mayor. In or about January 2013, Correa began seeking investors who were willing to provide investment money for Snow Owl in return for equity in the company. To induce their investments, Correa represented to the Snow Owl investors that he was a successful tech entrepreneur who previously sold another app, which was called Find It Networks, for a large profit. Second, their investment funds would be used for expenses related to the development of the app. And then 3, he would not take a salary or otherwise draw compensation from Snow Owl. And 4, he would use his best efforts to ensure the success of Snow Owl. As a result, there were 7 individual investors in Snow Owl. So,
So what are we thinking?
So, if you look at this sealed document and you look at some of the information provided here, you can tell that he was trying to find. He founded an investment company, or a tech company, I should say, Snow Owl, and he did get 7 individual investors to invest in this company. Now, to get into a little bit more detail of the scheme and fraud, we'll start with 4. He says, starting in approximately January 2013 and continuing until at least in or about May 2017, Correa perpetrated a scheme to defraud the Snow Owl investors. So now the federal government is now saying, well, there's some schemes now.
Right.
Okay, they're accusing him investors by making false representations. So they're saying he falsely represented Snow Owl, the company. And then he diverted most of the portion of the funds that were invested in this company. He diverted the funds to himself, while neglecting the development of the company to focus on his political career. So he used the investments. He used the Snow Owl investments. So he created a company. That's what they're saying. He created a Snow Owl company, and they're saying that he masked it as a tech company so that he can get investors in. And instead of using the money to develop Snow Owl further, he used it to develop his political career further. Does that make sense?
Was he simply representing Snow Owl, or was he an actual entrepreneur?
Well, he made himself to be. He made himself to be an entrepreneur.
I got you.
So he made himself to be an entrepreneur rather than a political career.
There weren't any other workers or entrepreneurs along his side helping develop the company?
No, he says he was the only one.
Okay.
He says he was a successful entrepreneur who previously sold another app. So yeah, if you want to read this sealed document, literally, because I'm just reading the sealed document that they have here for him on the masslive.com news. We can put a link in our bio, in the YouTube bio, and you can go and check out this document.
These pretty serious allegations, I would say.
These are federal indictments, man. These are serious. I mean, these are serious. I mean, this wouldn't happen for no reason. And really, one of the things that I've been told was that Jaziel Correa, actually, this is some of the information that I got. I won't say the source, but they say that he actually married his girlfriend in order for her not to testify, to be legally obligated to testify against him in court. That's something that I had heard about. Little Birdie had shot that to me, but who knows? We don't know. These are all allegations. These are all allegations by the federal government. So who knows if any of these are actually even true?
It looks like he's lost the trust of the city and the city councilors in Fall River. They pretty much all want him out.
Yeah.
And there was reported recently that he said that he's not stepping down anytime soon.
Well, yeah, because one thing I can give credit to Mr. Correa is that he gets things done here in Fall River.
I don't know much about his work. You're probably right. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't really have an opinion per se on this. I'm only looking at it at a couple ways. You know, we have to remember that these are only allegations. He hasn't been found convicted. And we want to do what the Bible says, which is use righteous judgments. We don't just want to call somebody out and condemn them, not knowing for sure, because in our system, we're innocent until proven guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty, yeah.
But if it does come out that these things are true, then we also want to encourage him to step up to the standard and step into accountability and do the right thing, and maybe step down and face these things, and our prayers will certainly be with him.
Certainly, yeah.
You know,
I think that's a great
the best way to look at it.
And that's the biblical way to look at it. Is that we have leaders who make mistakes. And Jaziel Correa could have made mistakes because these have not been proven yet. So what Evaldo is saying more specifically is that if these are true, hypothetically, if these are true, Jay-Z or Correa, the best bet for you would to face these allegations and to find out and get to the crux issue, to get to the truth behind all of it.
And he was at a recent real estate event too that I know of.
Yes, he was. He was actually at a real estate investment, which is kind of surprising, considering you have 24 indictments over your head by the federal government.
Well, he seems to be handling it pretty well.
You know, I mean, that's was
pretty good for a young 27-year-old.
I mean, he's got a strong spirit behind him, because I don't know how I would be handling this, man. I don't know how I would be. I mean, I don't know how long he can go to jail for if these are all, if he even one count. If they get him on one thing, he could go to jail for a while, man.
And what's funny about this too is like it's in Fall River, of all places. Like, I bet you were saying this. Nobody really knows where Fall River is or what is Fall River. It's such a small city, and to me, it's always been like sort of, kind of insignificant. No, I don't mean to be offensive, but it's not a major city that people recognize on the map.
No.
You know what I mean?
What's amazing though, now that you say that, is that even Mayor Correa himself, he actually, when he spoke at the real estate investment, he talked about the commuter rail that they want to get from here to Boston, and he said it will be completed in 2023. He said. I think I got the exact year. 2023, he said it'll be all finished. So if they actually do put that commuter rail here in Fall River, we will be a contender for a lot of places to live. So we might be, you said we're pretty insignificant as a city, so I would just say to you, depending on where it might be in the next 5 to 6 years. This
will definitely attract people, and prices will go up in rent, and taxes, thank you very much, will go up in my house.
Yes. A lot of things will start to go up.
But my property value will go up, so that'll be a good thing.
That'll be a good thing. And then maybe you can sell and go somewhere cheaper.
Perhaps.
But that is all in good fun. So really what we want to talk about and what we want to end off here, because we're getting ready to go for a break, is that our mayor is innocent until proven guilty. So I won't go through the entire indictments, but you guys know them. I'll just list them off one more time. So count 1 is wire fraud. So he committed wire fraud, and really what that means is that he took investment money and he used it for his own personal agenda, for his own campaign, and that's not something you should be doing. It's not legal. False tax returns, lying on his taxes. I mean, I'm sure there's many people who do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's the only one, but the feds just want to use that. So false tax returns. So we'll use that. And then we have extortion conspiracy. So now he's saying he's extorting what? Somebody he could be taking money from. They're probably using the extortion conspiracy with the wire fraud to double with the wire fraud.
I heard one of the extortion was from the marijuana canteen or a place there in Fall River.
Yep. That's right. And we have aiding and abetting. So he aided and abetting in the extortion. So, I mean, I guess they're accusing him of being a thief or aiding in an attempt to extort somebody or something. And then we have bribery, which these allegations seem to be very loosely knit, I would say. It looks like the federal government is just trying to slap something on him.
24.
So if you want, what we'll do is I'll have Evaldo copy and paste this link to our bio description on YouTube, and please feel free to just go through it, because this, if you're a resident of Fall River, you should definitely know what's going on and know what's going on, and stay up to date with anything that might be attacking your leadership here in Fall River, and certainly these indictments are. So we'll be right back, and we'll talk about some funny topics, some interesting topics. We have a Newark Airport evacuation panic reportedly began within racial profiling, witnesses claim, and this was published by Janine Puhak of Fox News. So we'll be right back, and we'll talk about some of these stories.
Politically incorrect.
Hey, PI natives. Thanks for tuning in today. The guys would love to hear your feedback. So if you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to talk about, feel free to email us at thepoliticallyincorrectpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The only place where your skin color doesn't determine who you are, but is only cosmetic.
All right, and we're back. Interesting news. What's going on? We're back. We're back. We're back.
We're back.
So this happened, I think, last week. A man pulls a gun in Popeye's chicken after he found out that there was no more chicken left. They sold out, and this happened in Texas. It says Popeye's Chicken and Restaurant in Texas with a gun. A man threatened employees at a Popeye's restaurant in Texas with a gun after he was told there were no more chicken sandwiches, police said. And the incident happened around 8:45 p.m. on a Monday. He was really hungry and he didn't care what was going on. He wanted his chicken. So the chicken must have been really good.
I think I might just leave it at the chicken, man.
Can't say I've ever heard something like that ever happening.
As much as I would say I love chicken. You tell somebody I love chicken. You see the way I said that? I love chicken.
Of course, you're black. No,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
In Fall River, there's been recent increases on attacks of seniors and ladies. So they created this device. It's a really small device that's like a keychain type of device, and it has a button. It has a button, and you can press it, and it screams really, really, really loud. And so if the senior citizens are being attacked or the ladies are being attacked, people can hear them.
Yeah.
They can identify where they are by hearing this device go off. It's really loud, and it's used as a distraction and a diversion to lure or move the attacker away.
Let's keep our city safe here, Fall River.
Fall River is on the map these days.
So Newark Airport evacuation panic reportedly began with racial profiling, witnesses claim. So we have 2 Alaskan airline passengers have come forward to claim that the active shooter scare at Terminal A at Newark Liberty International Airport on Monday night began with an airline employee racially profiling them with bizarre questions about their Asian heritage. So I guess here are some of the few questions. He says, "Are you scared? Are you nervous?" The unnamed Alaska staffer allegedly asks, I'm going to butcher her name, Chuniai Luai, after randomly approaching her near Gate 30. This is BuzzFeed News reports. And then, "Why are you acting suspiciously?" She soon questions Han Hegzu, who was standing nearby. These are both Chinese-born men who were strangers that the women physically came too close for comfort, reportedly pushing past Exu and standing too close. So, long story short, is more racial profiling, and I guess there was an active shooter at Terminal A in Newark, New Jersey.
This is political correctness going amok because I'm sorry, I used to be in the medical field, and a lot of what I used to do is you profiled people based on whatever, right? And that's how you made your decisions, your assessments about how you were going to handle certain things. So we need to take it easy with this political correctness because it only makes us unsafe. All right?
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are excited to be back, and we hope you enjoyed the show. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel and show some support. Much love, and God bless you.
God bless, guys. See you later.